Tonight's reality check, muddy waters. Local oyster farmers are suing companies that perform dredging work around Mobile Bay, including the deepening and widening of Mobile's ship channel. The farmers say the companies cause massive amounts of sediment displacement that killed a significant amount of oysters.
This is mud covering oysters that were grown in waters around Mobile County. The oyster farm owners are suing dredging operators they say caused excessive turbidity and sediment that is killing oysters at an alarming rate. Attorney Martin Cunningham represents Firefly Landing Oyster Company and Sandy Bay Oyster Company.
We need to look at the environment for long-term durability and survivability of this bay, because once the profits are gone for the companies are going to be gone.
Earlier this week, we showed you the muck that accumulates on Jackie Wilson's oyster cages at her farm on Mobile Bay. She's not part of the litigation, but also blames what's happening on this, what she calls mud dumping, material that's dredged from the shipping channel that's pumped back into the bay in a method also known as thin layer placement.
And it's, caked full of mud. That should tell you right there that the water column throughout is pretty turbid. It's pretty thick with mud, pretty thick with silt.
The civil complaint names 3 different companies and 3 different projects the complaint claims were all conducting large dredging operations simultaneously, including Carter's Contracting Services, Inc. with its work on the Dauphin Island Causeway, Weeks Marine with its work restoring dunes on Dauphin Island, and Great Lakes Dredge and Dock Company that is deepening and widening the Mobile Bay ship channel. All 3 companies have argued the case should be dismissed outright because the claims are too vague and there's a lack of evidence proving their work resulted in an increase in oyster mortalities.
They're saying that they're too far, too distant, that we're not close in time or location, but they are. They're close. They're in Mobile Bay. We can see it if you drive across the bayway or the causeway. You'll notice them out there, right? And we get calls from the oystermen and the oysterwomen and the farms saying we're watching these dredging operations happening right in front of our eyes, and then we pull our cages and there's sediment and mud and everything else all over them.
According to the lawsuit, oyster farmers typically see 25 to 30% mortality rates on their farms, but starting last year, it exceeded 50%.